Hello, my name is Cthulhamonster. You can call me Cthulha or Monster. Welcome back to my ATM Gravitas to early game series. I'm here on my island that I am planning on making an outpost on. And I was just I was waiting for the rain to go away so I could get a thumbnail for the last episode. And as always, when you are walking, or doing stuff, you should use your pick to get some ideas of things going on. And I got really lucky and found, um, let's see if I can find it again. So you can see there it is, sapphirite. Sapphirite in particular here is zinc. And we are in the attempt, we need to get our primitive alloys here as one of our items. And we have bismuth, but we needed zinc, which there's some in here somewhere, um, to be able to get a bronze. So this is excellent. I don't anticipate there's much, or it's going to be a pain to find um, within here because there's a lot of other stuff. But if we get a mine over here, that's going to be great. I was not expecting that. All right, and this is salt water, so I can't drink it. Reminding myself of that so I don't do it. Now the question you have to ask yourself is how much did I drink salt water to remind myself so adamantly not to? All right. Ooh, more dew. So this is a very easy way for me to get distracted. Most of this thing is a swamp, and it was when I was editing the last video. So much of me was like trying to justify, would I be okay living in a swamp? And it's good for an outpost. It is not our final base location. What is this? Salt lick. Okay, excellent. I was not expecting salt. Okay, we're gonna pick this up. Someone had asked on the Discord if salt licks indicate salts underneath. I honestly don't know. And I'd love to know if we do figure that out. Think I was waiting for someone to answer, but I got distracted and didn't follow up. So we are 100% grabbing all the salt. Salt can be used to preserve food, so this is great. And I'm not seeing anything underneath here. I'm just wandering the island before I pick the location of my some more apatite, and gold. Okay, native gold. Nice. The rain's finally stopped. I can get my thumbnail. Um, and for the frequency of videos, it's like my thought is I play off and on between the two, and it just takes a little bit more gameplay for me to get a full episode in on Pilpo's server. So those might come a little bit less regular. These are saltwater and saltwater, so we can trust no waters to be water. This is proper water. All right, so I just moved our waystone just a scooch from over here over to this side of the dealio. This looks like the highest part of land on this island, so I thought this would be a really cute spot for a small little cabin. All right, so I got some large vessels prepped, but I wanted to see what else we could fire for some molds. What I'm going to do is get the ingot molds here. These don't always break when you fire ingots, but there is a chance. So you don't want to have too few of them. And I'm going to make a few of those because we are going to need to start getting some copper ingots casted. And I put the door we stole from the ship here as well. I had one, so you know why not? So with our finite water, one thing I'm going to want to get is an aqueduct. Aqueducts in particular do require you to have bricks, and that is where a chisel is going to come into effect here. So I do want to actually get a chisel mold. I can still use a hammer, not a hammer. I can still use a stone hammer with a chisel. All right, so I made my first hoe heads here so I can get some of our stuff planted. And it's farming is a little bit different in with a TFC base. You don't always need water. You actually have a default saturation here. So it looks like we're at 23% on our default saturation. So if you hold control over your seeds, it'll bring it up. And we need 25 for, what is it called? Wheat. And so you see 100% is right next to the water, but it goes 83 as it gets further out, and then it just immediately dropped. I'm a little sad it immediately dropped. But we'll need to keep an eye on that. So I'm probably going to dig out a little farming space here. I am going to dig this one down because I believe, yeah, so it needs to be, it loses water as it goes upwards as well. If you could find your first source of water that is higher up than sea level, it's really great to use aqueducts and settle near those. I'm going to plant jute here because I want my jute to grow as soon as possible. And I believe we are in temperate and summer. So I don't know if we're going to leave this area by the time winter hits. So it's good to plan for cold temperatures. So I'm not really sure how much the small vessel can hold. I'm going to get 4 ingots worth of stuff here in this vessel. And we'll put that going. A chisel, an axe, and 2 ingots on the side. So, excellent. We'll get that started. Also, I want to start making some charcoal. So there's a lot of things we can start to do here. I want to get some fruit trees going. Not fruit trees, ash trees going. Maybe some fruit, but at the moment I'm not too worried about those since we were able to get those dried peaches. We have a lot of ash saplings. Ash are, I think I did mention, ash grow really tall, so they are a great one to grow. Yeah, so I can't put these on mud, so we need to make sure we're putting them on our grass. And not too close to our fire to burn everything down. I do need some trees. You can hear frogs going off in the background right now, and I love it. All right, so our trees are planted, at least the ash ones. You might be seeing some of my achievements going off again. I don't know why, but they got reset earlier. So that's just an unfortunate item there. So, once again, achievements. All right, I'm going to put my timer going. Bees, that's the thing I wanted to do. Since we are going to put down some crops, because this is going to be long enough to take that, we can get the bees started. So I want them near the crops. So I'm going to put my bee boxes here, fill them up with their frames, and then go get some flowers for these. Cool. Beets are also one of the items that I'm able to grow just anywhere in my area here for this outpost. So beets and barley, that is going to be our life food. I also put some tomatoes going. I had 1 seed from the very first food I got, and these require a stick to be put in there. So for folks, if you haven't been getting any growth on your Delios, that's why. And I put the barley way too close over here. I did grab a thing of water, and I got some jute going right now, so we can get some animal leads. And then I organized our stuff just to scooch. It's still terrible. So one item that we can do with the sheep's hide is to cut the wool off of it. So now we just have 2 raw hides here. And the raw hides, if you hold control, it'll tell you that we need to first soak it in lime water. And lime water is going to require flux. Flux itself there's a few ways to get it. The book kind of can give you some better ones, but we can smash certain types of clams and rocks. So like limestone, as it's showing here, dolomite, chalk, and other ones. And then in the future, we'll be able to use, the crushing wheels and the milling stone, those items. For the moment, I can't use these, and my food is still in my back. All right, so this is just where I've been putting the food. Here's the newest stuff we have, and I'm going to grab these bowls here and look at my requirements. So fruit and grain are my lowest items. So if I could get sandwiches, those would be the best. And you can actually, if you have empty bowls in your hands, make salads. So what we're going to do is actually make some salads, I think. I don't think I could put, well, maybe I can. I could put some bread and peaches together. Let's see here. Nope. So I wouldn't be able to do it that way. So we're going to make sandwiches with the bread I picked up from the villagers here. And half on either side. 2 of that and here. And that'll should no sandwiches? Is it because it's jam? Is it because I was, yeah, it's because of the peaches, unfortunately. So we could have just straight meat. Yeah, we'll do that. This is also if your food is about to go bad, you can extend some time by actually preparing it into things. So we will also just prepare 2 fruit salads or sweet salads as they are here. And the reason why you might want to do this, even though you're not eating more or eating like it doesn't satisfy as many meals, is because these ones with nutrients and saturation can help you get your health. So if I eat this, you'll see that my fruit went up further than if I just eaten one peach, but I would be too full to actually eat anymore. Um, it's a little weird, but yeah. So that's kind of some of the thoughts. I did do a very small short video on that as well. I'm gonna go get that copper mine going. I think got food. I got bees going. I think I'm gonna claim these sections right here so I can force load them while I'm gone. And I'm also gonna grab the other waystone. I was actually able to find an olive tree near our in the plains well, not really on the way to our copper. I've been looking at the plains and kind of doing a circle towards it. But I really like to have olive trees because it opens up olive oil as well as food. So I think that could be helpful for lamps and whatnot. There are some recipes with Greg Tech where you'll get to using lamps that don't require oil per se, but I kind of enjoy it, to be honest. Um, and since this is going to be celebrating the early game, I'm probably going to do that more. So I have found the middle of the copper vein. It's right here. It does coming up as a very large sample here. So originally we had our marker over here, so you can see that we were really on that edge. If this is where the coppers comes in. So once again, we're going to do a 3x1 here and see what we get. This one should not be as anticlimactic as the last one. It is saying very large, so very large is 80 or more ore blocks. So I would be very excited to see that. I do have some ash supports here in my pockets so that I can set up some supporting measures once we get down here. And I do need some raw stone so that I can make a quern to start grinding flux and things like that. All right. So I'm just going to take this and I just doing a few checks here. So we're still on the path of very large sample within 25 by 25 by 25 blocks. Excellent. So we found it already. This is amazing. I need to now widen out my mine here. I realized I didn't bring any planks, so I'm going to go grab some gravity-defying blocks. Those could be bricks, planks, logs, and I don't have either of those. The way I like to do this is if I'm going to be putting down mining supports, I want to put it on a non-ore block, and mining supports a 9 by 9 by 5. And I do have an episode on this on my channel, and I hate to tell you guys to go look at that, but there's a lot of complicated bits to it. But the big piece that you get from it is this horizontal part of the bar is the most important. All of the areas that are supported have nothing to do with this block and everything to do with this block. 9 centered on this in both directions. So that means basically this is the 5th block and you do 4 this way, 4 this way, or vice versa. And then down, it's only 5 centered. So it will support, I always think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to have a little bit of a situation where we have gravel above. So if I break my mining support when I leave, this would start to fall down because gravel is very much a gravity-based block. So what I'm going to do here is these are my temporary ones, the ones I've currently put in. They're temporary because they do block my access. I want planks, not slabs here. I've had better luck with planks handling a collapse than not. So I basically just moved this on over, and now we can have our nice ladder come down. All right, so the first thing I did here in this mine is I widened it out so I had the widest distance between the separations. And I just made sure that each of these had like double support before I removed the temporary ones. So now this is a 5x5 square in the middle that's holding up the middle, and then I can go 4 out in all the directions and then start moving supports outwards. I am seeing that we were pretty centered on this ore vein. I see it's in all directions except down. But I was kind of hoping to be able to dig deep for this in a straight down method, but that does make sense with one, how copper flows in the real world, but also what I was seeing from a prospecting, that there was a lot of surface or lower copper visible. So yeah, I'm gonna keep digging here, but I just wanted to show you like an interim setting that I have here in this mine. All right, we have 1 millibyte. All right, we didn't get a ton, but we did get several ingots here that I think can help us work towards getting that copper anvil, which is great. All right, well, there's our first, well, not our first, our second mine. Altogether, not too bad. It definitely is slower going with these picks. And yeah, our first saplings that we placed are almost ready, are getting close to being ready here for, they're about to grow. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Excellent. So we have another goat, and we have both a male and a female goat. So perfect. So we can work on getting them familiarized. You do lose familiarity with snow and materials falling on the poor guys. So I do want to make sure that I am not doing that. I want to have a little bit of, I want to have a building for some cover before I try to tame them. All right, so I'm going to put my charcoal going over here. We are going to dig a little charcoal pit here. I'm just going to do a section of 4 stacks of logs here, and then cover most of it here, and then I'm going to light it on fire. And then cover it really quickly with the with this again. So you can hear they ignited, and I recovered them. And once that smoke stops, we want to dig this out, and we want to be careful. If we see any of these fall, we want to keep an eye on that as well. Because if they fall, we're going to lose the stuff. So that's how we get our first charcoal. I forgot about the charcoal kiln forge, to be honest, which is why I am currently melting these ingots this way. It's a little bit slower than I needed to. We probably could have gone straight for the charcoal earlier. And I would read the TFC section about a charcoal forge, especially if you're going to build it in a building. There are some rules on making sure it has chimney space, open air access, that type of thing. And I think we might be looking to go for one, we need our sapphirite and our bismuth. So we'll start mining down some of those items so we can get into the Bronze Age. Ooh, that's loud. Oh no, my precious torches. I did not mean to put them in the water. All right, so we got some ingots. Gosh, I'm so upset it didn't record, but I did find traces of tin and zinc over on the next island here from our outpost, and I lost my map earlier today. I was just having some issues with the different types of. Did my map come back? Maybe I didn't lose my map. I lost my waypoints. That's what it looks like. So just a few things. I killed my first lobster. I got some clams, and we were all out here looking for flux. So that is, oh, that is what I'm doing. We've completed the quest for flux, and I'm really excited. We did get enough bronze as well. I was casting bronze. It's feeling very nice. So we're right on track to get our copper anvil. But yeah, and then I also started out a little bit of the build on the outpost. And oh my gosh, look at this chestnut tree. This is gorgeous. Okay, we're gonna take out one more big chestnut tree here. So I have those recorded. Not recorded, so I have a lot of those saplings. My God. I am a beast. Gosh, well, yeah. So I've been distracted. Oh, cabbages. Gosh, once again, not distracted at all. This is 100% what I was doing earlier. So yeah, my inventory is completely full. So I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna head back to the base, show you the outline that I didn't get to keep the footage on. It's a brand new day. It's a new me. I know we weren't expecting this much energy. I think, what, 20 minutes into the episode? I definitely didn't just edit the first half. I came out here for Flux, and I then got distracted and did a whole circle here. So we're going back to our swamp. Back to our beautiful swamp. But only after we find these potatoes. Slowly but surely head back. Carrots! We can't head back yet, there's carrots. Oh my, do you see that large sample of calipyrite? I dive in holes when I'm on my way for things. And yeah, calipyrite is 100%. Yeah, it's a copper and tin vein. So we absolutely are going to do our next mine here. Holy nuggets, I've been very lucky on this seed. I don't think I've never really been lucky on seeds with my my gamer tag, so how exciting. Oh my. And also found a large sample of a hematite one. All right, so we're coming up here on what I had done for the base camp. I got the trees that I've grown here. A lot of them are ready to be harvested, chopped down. And this is what I've built so far. It's just an outline here of a a wattle area here with a door. So I have set up a 5x5 here. I made the Firma Life bottom oven, top oven, and a set of the chimneys here. I do still need to get the bounding stone, which is actually why I went out. I need flux for mortar and a variety of other things. So I was like, hey, I'm tossed. And this is where I'm going to be doing my storage here. It's going to be a pretty tight little guy of a space, but since it is for the outpost, I think that's going to be perfect. Oh, and this was the part where we lost. Yeah, we have 21 copper ingots made. So yeah, we're doing pretty good on that. So one thing we are going to do here is make some grout mortar. So mortar is actually not the worst. Sounds terrible to say it, but just so you know, one piece of sand makes 16, and that could be something that's really when you first start out, you're like, wait, what? And you can make a lot of mortar. So first we're going to make lime water, and let's see our buckets here. One trick, I'm going to take the torches finally off my hand. One trick I recommend for condensing water is you can actually use barrels to quickly move water amongst barrels. So I was able to fill up this one barrel. So yeah, it's a quick way to fill up your barrels. So I was able to make this whole thing here full of flux. And I know I'm going to use a lot of mortar, so I'm going to put that going. It's once again on the 8-minute timer. And then, yeah, we're also going to work on if you notice that was lime wire, and earlier in the episode, when we scraped the hides, we needed to soak the hide in lime wire, and then we need to scrape it. And then the scraped one needs to go into water, and the prepared one needs to go into tannin. And tannin, all of this is in the book as an FYI, but tannin itself uses very specific woods, and the list is there. And I'm just kind of keeping an eye here. So chestnut is one we can use, which is great because that's one I have. All right, so I'm going to grab this stack here of this, and I'm going to make a thing of tannin here. And I lost the recording of my last charcoal pit, so here is the second set of charcoal. With the charcoal, yeah, you just basically dig it back out once it stops smoking. And we'll make a new forge location, but this is our first charcoal forge. And what we did is we laid down 7 pieces of charcoal. You could fill it to the top too. and then we've lit it on fire. I'm really sad I lost some footage, so I apologize if things are a little bit disorganized since this episode. It was just a little bit of some technical issues this last round, but I think more caused just by my VC than anything. So here, if you relight this, um, you'll get your charcoal forge. And the charcoal forge, you put your fuel here, your ingots here, and then your molds you put over here on the right side. And I like to keep a vessel in here for overflow. So, and it specifically needs to be surrounded by stone, but cobble's fine. We'll use brick or smooth stone when we find a better location for that. And the nice thing with ingots as well as charcoal is you could stack them by just crouching and right clicking. And I think it creates a really fun dynamic environment. It's really fun if you are really into decorating things. All right, so I dug a little bit here and I made my first aqueduct here. And one of the reasons I really wanted to make an aqueduct is that one, for the crops here, you now can see that it's 100% at this location as well. So you're able to keep that water moving. But then the other bit is we're no longer dependent on actual rain for this. Previously, if I grabbed water from the pool here, it would delete a source. Now I can grab it from the aqueduct and it won't delete a source. So it's a great item there to have. So yeah, definitely recommend getting flux as soon as you're able to, so you can at least get your... All right, so I am going to get our anvil started up here because I think it's time. So we have our raw andesite here, and this we picked up in the previous episode, and I just right clicked on it after I placed it, and now you see that it has this the GUI here. And right now we can't really do much. So I'm going to light up this forge, and my goal is to not accidentally melt these. So actually I'm going to do 4 at a time, so this one can wait for a bit. I need these to get higher in heat. There's going to be a point where they're workable, and then there's going to be a point where they're weldable. And you want to make sure that you're being cautious on that. I've made a few more hammers, and then we will... get these. And I kept my ingots and my vessels here as spillover, just in case. And now you can see that I can weld these, so I want to make sure I don't melt them. So I've moved one to the front there, and I can do the next one. Got 2 there. Right click, I've welded it. I can right click it off of there, put 2 more on, and you can see that I missed that weld point. So close. Copper is going to be the hardest one to weld because it melts so easy. I'm trying to remember how far away fire can happen. You'll notice there's little sparks that come off, so you saw some landing here. I think it's 2 past, but I can't confirm that 100%. All right. Let's get the leather finished, because I do want folks to know how to do this sooner than later, and then, or at least getting the scraping part done, because that's the most painful one in my opinion. We need any log. This is described in the book, so I recommend you read that. But now that we have a soaked skin, we can put it down on the log. You can see the textures there. And we're going to take a knife. And with a stone knife, it's going to take a few knives. And we want to get every bit of the pink that you see off of the dealio. And let me grab another knife. Instead of knives, I made some more hoes. So my hoe collection on the ground here is going to grow. We will use them in time. So now you see on the upper bit there, it says now this is a medium scraped hide. So we can take this off because it is ready to be soaked in tannin. Sorry, in water. So now we have our scraped hides here. So now this just needs to soak in water. And then once it soaks in water, you soak it in tannin. And then you finally have leather. Oh, shoot. The moment I realized I wanted to record something, it rains. So one item I wanted to show you is I realized I wanted to get some smooth stone for my quern. And what I was seeing here is, I'm not sure if everyone has used the chisel before, but one item is I keep the hammer here in my offhand. I don't think it works the other way. No. And I want to make sure that my keybind for the chisel is something that I like. Right now it's M. I hate that. So normally did it on N, and I'm just going to check to see what else might be in N. But yeah, so we're going to go for some smooth versions of the stone. These, by doing smooth like this, it does take durability from the chisel. And I will say, like, they're very pretty. They still could potentially cause some collapses if you're not careful. One item we wanted to make is the quern here, which is why we picked up that smooth andesite, and then we need to make our first hand. It's used with the quern. It's the hand stone here, which requires raw items, raw stone. So I need sticks. And light. It's not very helpful if you guys can't see what I'm up to if I talk about it. All right, and ooh, we saw nothing. Definitely didn't get distracted earlier. All right, let's get that handstone made here. And the quern is something that we can use to process our wheat and things like that. So this is going to be something I will put in here to start. Makes a horrible noise. And we have bees! Okay. Oh my gosh, crop affinity 3? That is amazing. I didn't even, yeah, so now that we have bees, there is a daily honey chance, but also the daily chance of a newbie is guaranteed. So, oh my gosh, that's gonna be awesome. And it's perfect. And I'm looking at the crop multiplier to see if it could have had an effect there. I don't see one. But yeah, so I've done a little bit of building. I don't know how I like the acacia. I'm putting it there because it is the local block. But yeah, so I wanted to put a little forge area here. So I made a little set of stairs down, and I put my forge here in the corner with my copper. I need storage somewhere. I don't know if this is going to really work out. But I wanted to be able to get down here. I opened up the water, which is great, and I've started this retaining wall here. And what I would really like to do is get it so that my water wheel can turn potentially here, like maybe like this little tiny medieval outpost has a source of water, like a spring feeding this natural water. And then I also started some aqueduct locations. I put one here, and then another one, I carried my aqueduct through here and I put a little trapdoor on top. And eventually, if I do a basement to the outpost, I would connect it through here. But yeah, I think this is looking pretty cute. It definitely got distracted just a wee bit. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me this episode. We did a lot of things. I had a little bit of trouble with some lost footage, so hopefully you guys didn't. It was a little bit of my voice as I was looking at my editing, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I really did love this. I'm really excited to work on just a tiny little medieval little outpost. And I think next round we are definitely going to be in bronze. We already got our copper anvil, and we got lots of nice jute going. And yeah, let's see what we get to up next time. Thank you for joining me. My name is Cthulhamonster. If you want to chat at all about this, I am frequently in the ATM Discord about Gravitas 2. There's a lot of folks there who really do love this mod pack. So thanks again. Bye.